Let's get started. Let's get started. Let's get started. Okay. We're streaming now. Hooray and huzzah. We're not alone. Oh my goodness. Sorry, there was just an accident in the theater. It was delightful to watch. But we won't get into it. We won't embarrass any of the pages that were around that may have knocked over a sign. So, how are you? I'm kicking cords underneath. Let me just turn this. How are you, Belarus? One of these days, I'm going to have to figure out how to pronounce your name properly because I'm embarrassed. So I'm just going to have to say Belle maybe? Like the Disney princess? Look, there she goes, that girl is strange but special, a most peculiar mademoiselle. It's a pity and a sin. Sorry, just checking the sound here. And yes, I like Disney very much. Today, for those of you who are here and watching, we are going to talk about beginnings. Why? Why not? Because that's what we're following the NaNoWriMo lesson plan because I'm very thoughtful and organized. And that's what they said to talk about today for this week. I'm going to follow basic. Who am I kidding? I'm not going to follow very much of it. You guys know beginnings, or do you? Do you know how to begin your story? This is I think you can download the worksheet or the workbook from the NaNoWriMo website for freezies. And that was my attempt to be cute by saying free in an interesting and unusual way. It is free. You will not be able to exchange those little frozen treats that, refresh you on a hot summer day in exchange for this. The internet doesn't work that way yet. So, but first, let's begin with how is everyone's week going? Mine has been busy. Busy, you say? Yes. And I forgot to just load up my Celtics projects. So I got to get my screenplay ready. I got to load it up so I can write, because that's important. And there we are. Okay, there it is. Sorry for all my mumbling and staring at the screen. You probably don't care about that. But I was not prepared, so I needed to get that loaded up. Anyway, yes, my week was my week. There's lots of wildfires going on in Western Canada, so the air quality is. So if you have asthma, sorry, this week has probably sucked more for you. I don't, but all my clothes smell like smoke now. I don't think we even have any fires right around us. We just have some. Oh, did I forget to do this? Sorry, I just got an important message. So, I will have to answer that later. Anyway. Yes, it's been a weird week. And now my mind is all distracted because of the message. It's just about bees. I have bees. And I need a queen, which is kind of important for her. So, anyway. Beginnings. I mean, most of you probably plotted out your novel already, so you don't really need this stuff. Maybe you've already figured it out. But for those of you who haven't figured out how you're going to start your novel, hopefully this will help. because there are 4 places you can start a story. Would you like to hear them? Would you like to have your mind blown? According to these people at NaNoWriMo, there are 4 places to start your screenplay or novel, sorry. And are you ready? I hope you're sitting down, because the first place you can start your story is the beginning. Mind blown. Yes. It's an obvious choice at the beginning. Your character, protagonist, wakes up, is having a normal day, and then some strange stuff starts happening. Congratulations, you have started your novel at the beginning. The next choice is start with the inciting incident. The inciting incident, as you know, is the moment that changes your protagonist's life and launches the book's adventure. Starting with this moment sucks your readers into your story and leaves them wondering what will happen next. So an example: when she woke up that afternoon with a splitting headache, Marissa could only remember 2 things. 1, someone dressed in an unfamiliar uniform had broken into her home. And 2, that person had not been alone. It's like, what? Something's happened already. So when the story starts, you're starting not with before the break-in, you're starting with well, I guess technically right after the break-in, but you know what I'm saying. The next one is in media res. In media res? Let me just see. I'm going to use a pronunciation guide here. In media res. In media res, according to the Latin. And basically it means in the middle of. So you're starting in the middle of the action. So this would almost be like the middle of your story, the midpoint. Would you like to, well, I'll just read it. It literally means starting your story right in the middle of the action and then filling in the rest, explaining who the characters are and what they got them into the mess they're in. A lot of suspense, mystery, and action novels begin in media res. It's a great way to draw readers in and to make sure they stick around for all the details. Would you like an example of said in media res? Marissa stood face to face with General Fernandez, his fists clenched at his side and an unforgiving look on his face. Marissa wished she were back at home. Unfortunately, there was no home for her to return to. What? Anyway, so yeah, she's already confronting the antagonist. General Fernandez of the People's Republic Army. I have no idea what army he is. He's a general. General Fernandez. Maybe he works for General Electric. And that's it's his company, and that's his name, General. And Fernandez is his last name. She faced General Fernandez, the criminal accountant. But that's not the case. And anyway, so those are 3 of the 4. In the beginning, inciting incident, in media res. Why do I say res? In media res. And the last place to start a story is start at the end. Counterintuitive, I know, but you can do it, and I believe in you. Shall we read what NaNoWriMo says? Yes, I think we should. Sorry, I just noticed my reflection in the window. Awesome, look good. Anyway, starting at the end. This one is a bit tricky, but well worth a try. You basically reveal the ending to your readers, but leave just enough mystery and intrigue to keep them reading. Then, you can either work backwards to reveal just how the ending came about, or jump to any other point of your novel and continue. So, I shall have to now read the example they give. Though Marissa's home would never be the same after the war, she was glad to finally be back in Fallbrook. The burnt homes and storefronts, though barely recognizable, symbolized the end of one era and the beginning of the next. So there you have it. Very simple. 4 places to start your story. Where are you starting your story? Sorry, I'm just getting buzzes and stuff. So, where is everyone starting their story? I believe my story is, well, it's at the beginning. Crazy thought, I know. It's not exactly the most original. In fact, it's starting before the beginning. There's thousands of years ago this happened, and now this is happening. So it's really happening in the beginning. So, they asked us to take out a worksheet and do some stuff. I'm not going to do that because it's weird. But if you want to do this at home, you can. Okay, so ask one student. So volunteer your plot. Project the plot roller coaster transparency and place different elements of the chosen student's plot on the roller coaster as they describe it. Then ask where the story begins. That's it, I guess. Take your novel and plot out where the beginning is, where the inciting incident is, the midpoint, the ending, and then say, where is my story beginning? I mean, you just kind of assume it's at the beginning, but maybe you want to start at the ending. Especially if the ending is like crazy. Like, Bill woke up surrounded by dancing androids and cyborgs. The robots were finally free. And all it cost was the blood of 1 billion humans and 2 planets. Then you're going like, what? How did this happen? What happened? What, huh? And then maybe you could go back to the beginning. So you could start at the end if it's like asks enough to make people go, I'm intrigued. The midpoint could also be intriguing if you have them going up against someone like that's super powerful, like a general. She stood powerless before the General Fernandez. Or it could be something like, she picked herself up out of the rubble and faced down the 200-foot-tall murder bot as it aimed its nuclear arsenal at her on the street below. The engines, or the ignition of many of the rockets flared to life, and she flashed back to how this all started. What? So now it's like, I don't know what's going to happen when the things shoot all the nuclear missiles at her right in front of it. What happened? Where did this murder bot come from? Man, sometimes genius just vomits out of my mouth. I hope you guys are like taking notes, because this stuff is gold, I tell you, gold. Anyway, how about inciting incident? Yeah. Just something unusual happens. So in my case, in my story, he has a device that he comes into possession with and I guess that's the inciting, though maybe they don't know it at the time. I mean, is that the inciting incident, or is it someone trying to steal it and wreck and vandalize his shop? Is that the inciting incident? Yaivitika. Well, welcome, Tovs. I'm sorry, I don't know how to say your name properly. I'm really bad. Akhmatovas? I shall just call you Akhma. Akhmat? I'm Neil, and we're talking about beginnings, in case you just joined us late to the party. in case I will sum up for you because, well, maybe you've been here for a while. You can start at the beginning, inciting incident, in media res, in the middle of things, and at the end. My story starts at the beginning. Where does yours start? Have you decided? It's going to start out in the middle and then flash back and build up to that point again? That's up to you. So, yes, that's what I've got. There is the workbook that you guys can go through. I just want to take a look at some of these exercises that NaNoWriMo has put in their little workbook. We've talked about them, taking your plot and just writing it out on the plot roller coaster, which I don't have a copy of, but just imagine it's a roller coaster. Beginning, initial incident, midpoint, ending. It's rocket science. Where does yours begin? So, yes, do this with your book. Take your book, plot it out, and where you wanted to start the story. And I guess this is another exercise if you're kind of stumped. Once you kind of got, this is my story, try starting it in each of those places. Like, okay, I get started at the day when they woke up and life was normal before the inciting incident. Or you could try writing out a scene where the story starts. What would the first chapter look like if it started at the inciting incident? What would the first chapter be if you started in the middle of things? And what would the first chapter be if you started at the end? I still think that if you use my murder bot, you have to give credit to me. Any use of the murder bot. Bella. Yes, one from the beginning and one from the end, just to see how I would prefer or find more capturing. This notebook will look very interesting down the road. Yes, I have no doubt it will. You have lots of interesting stories. So starting from the beginning, and then the other one is starts at the end of everything and everything else is a flashback. Like she's just walked, I don't know, like you're walking out of a hospital just after your grandmother has died, and now, yeah, what's happened? Like what happened to lead up to that moment where she's told you stuff? Yes, that sounds like. I think from what I've heard from your story, starting at the end might be a very good thing to do. Just kind of like tell people up front, yeah, this is what's the end result. Now let's talk about how we get there. So, yeah, I like it. Do it. So yeah, there's that you can do that assignment if you're interested, but it sounds like you've already decided how you're kind of going to do it. So if you're not stuck, then. And what? Oh, I didn't print out the worksheet. Well, I mean, this next exercise is pretty much the same thing as the previous one, except now you're asked to share it with other people. So seeing that none of us have really done that, well, I can just read a little bit of mine, I suppose. There's not a lot of dialogue, so please forgive me. It opens in the ocean during the day. 3,000 years ago, a small fishing boat, rough-hewn and primitive, bobs up and down on the waves a few hundred yards out from a rocky coast. A fisherman, his olive skin tanned a handful of shades darker from years in the open water, checks his nets. Sorry, this is a screenplay, by the way, so the format's a little different, etc., etc. He finishes hauling up his first net containing a meager number of fish. He sighs at the sight of so few fish. He grabs the second net still in the water and begins to pull. It moves easily for the first few yards, then halts. He tugs to no avail. It's caught on something, and after a few attempts to free it, the fisherman gives up and drops the net. He pulls a knife from a sheath at his hip and, placing the blade across his mouth, bites down on the metal. Not wanting to spend more time in the rough water than needed, he dives into the water. So then he goes into the water. He finds like a crazy piece of metal jutting out of the ocean floor. He digs it free, pulls it to the surface, and then takes it to shore. And that's like 3,000 years ago. That's how my story ends. I suppose I could, that's the beginning. If I was going to do it at the inciting incident, I could start it. Maybe he's got this crazy dice already, my protagonist. He's trying to auction it off or auction off plans or whatever to various groups, and things go south. And then flashback to like 3,000 years ago and shows the device being found. In the middle of things, I'm not even sure if I've gotten to that point in my planning yet. Yeah. I don't know. Sorry, there's people in the library. I'm trying to be helpful and be aware that if they need anything. So, yeah. If you have someone that you can bounce ideas off, I'm available if you want to type or if you want to come in person. Bella, that's possible for you. For Mr. Akhmatov, it might not be. So what if they live in like Brazil? Kind of a long trip. So find someone if you want to bounce off ideas and say, hey, I've written this. What do you think? Or I've written these 3 versions. I've written my story starting at the beginning. I've written my story, even if it's just a couple paragraphs, just to help give a taste. You can share them. And then with a writing partner, someone you know, and they can go, you know what? This one is more interesting to me. Go with that one. That might be helpful. I think all of this is assuming that you've already kind of plotted out your story, though. Maybe. So, anyway, the time is coming for some writing. So, some writing sprints. I got to get this one and this one out. 2 cards. Boom, boom. If I get onto the next scene, that'll be awesome. But if I don't, well, I still write something. If I can write a page a week, life is busy for everyone. And sometimes you don't have time to sit down and write. And when you get home from work at 10:30 at night, you don't want to sit up and write some more. So this is just my way of keeping going. If I can write just a page a week, I will have a full script in 2 years, which is a long time. But still, that's better than not doing anything and having nothing in 2 years. I have lots of stories. 2 years, when you think about it, if I live to 80, I could have, 20 some scripts left or written if I just stick with a page a day or a page a week. That's nothing. I think a lot of people probably, if they have time, can write 10, 20 pages a day if they have the whole day. I do not. 90% of the time. 99% of the time. Anyway, I'm babbling now. We are going to do some writing sprints. So, Bella, Akma, dust off your notepad, your writing software, your scrap. I'm going to have some Scottish mint with black licorice because it's delicious. And we're going to do some writing. Are you ready? I don't have the countdown timer anymore, which kind of sucks. So, do I have this? What am I trying to do? I don't know what I'm trying to do, but it's like 7:25 at this time. 7:25. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. What's this? Sorry, I'm just. Some people are sending pictures of library stuff, which is lovely. So I'm gonna have to do that, but it's. I'm getting distracted. I get distracted very easily. Santa Claus melon. Man, my brain is fried if I said that. Anyway, sorry. Get your writing utensils out. And we are going to begin in 3, 2, 1, 0. And sorry, I'm just like shutting down all these other windows. And begin. Okay. Sorry, you're not going to be able to see my screen because I'm not going to share it. I'm a private person. And you know what? That's okay. Do. But sorry. Okay. Sandals. What? Did I spell sandals? Yes, I did spell sandals wrong. Where is it? Kane's office. Okay. What? Sorry, I just realized like the formatting is. Sorry, just under the water day. There we go. Day. Okay. Just trying to fix. The lights are off, but everything is bathed in a soft glow of and LEDs. Kaon. Is well, it begins to. How about hobbles down the crowded aisle, past shelves filled with old Okay, so he's hobbling down the row. Yay for him. Ah. How do you do? Oh. I don't know if the format of this is right, but I'm going to do it anyway. Keon has no time. When a reply comes. The tech restriction laws. On begin scanning. That's kind of a lot of exposition. It will have to be changed. Okay, okay, now we are town, small village, dawn. Okay, but what am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? See, this is a new scene, and I'm a little concerned. How is everyone doing for their writing? Now, I am going to have to shut this off in like 10 minutes, just so you know that this stream normally be an hour, but because of we're opening, we're cutting things a little short. Indeed. Okay. Well, what? Keon. Walks through the small collection of clay and concrete buildings. The harsh corners smoothed down by. Well, there is no harsh. Gentle curves and yes, almost an organic feel to them. The dirt road that runs down, still empty at this time of day. It's kind of weird in that I want them, like if you had legs that didn't really work, you'd probably want a vehicle, like even like a moped to drive around in. But so why does he do this? He looks up. Sees a figure leaning against the hood of its nose, just sticking out from a side alley. Keon speeds up a bit despite, I can't even spell despite, the protest of his legs. Now let's call this external small village alley dawn. There we go. Okay. What do we got here? Well, first, let me just put this thing back, because I'm done with that card. Hooray! So, yes. Now I can't even remember what his friend's name is. Addo. The man. Both string. Oh wait, string. time. Okay, nodding in greeting. Were. Yes. That too. Latest shipment. His head. Believe it, though. Every one time comes when a new restriction is raised is around it in a short Well, anyway, I think we're going to have to end it here, peoples, because it is time for me to close up. So just remember, think about your story. Where are you beginning? Is there a different place you could start that might make it more exciting or might grab the reader more? Maybe starting in the beginning, not the most exciting. Starting at the end, better. I'm trying to be quiet here. But anyway, thank you for stopping by, you two lovely people. And if you want to stop into the library anytime during the week and talk about what you're writing, on, I would love it. So please do. I am here, well, with the exception of Tuesday, Thursdays, when I come in after lunch, I'm here during the day. Do it. I'd love to talk shop. So have a lovely week. Get some writing done, even just a page, just kind of, or a scene or a paragraph. Just keep writing. And eventually, it might be a year, might be 10 years, you'll end up with something that you'll be proud of. So don't stop. And I will see you next week. Bye-bye.